So this is my BMW 128i, and this is my daily driver. If you've been watching long enough on my channel, you know that I don't like driving stock BMW, so I have to modify this car also. And so far, I did the 1N conversion on the front bumper with the fog lights, a light bar inside the bumper on the lower section here where the grille, black line tail lights that came from Europe, new wheels with high performance tires, and there's more mods that's coming for this car, so later on that on the video. But for now, we're gonna talk about the mods that we're gonna do to this car. If you like me, who like to drive aggressive sometimes on the street, you're gonna need that stopping power. So in today's video, we're gonna upgrade the brake on this car. So we're gonna install high performance brakes on this BMW just to get that stopping power when you need it. So guys, before we start the video, if you like this kind of content, just please like and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell so you'll always be notified as soon as I release new videos. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you the future mods on this car, so better stay tuned for that. So guys, let's get started. Here are the performance brakes that we're going to install on the BMW. These are the front rotors. As you can see, they are directional. We just have to follow what's written on the box on what location they should be. The black color is just for rust protection. Basically the slot helps to clean your brake pads every time it passes the brake pads, and the holes, the cross drilled holes on the rotor, helps it reduce the heat, so it doesn't heat as much as a regular rotor. And also these are the rear rotors. These are not a solid piece, they are also ventilated. They are made for performance like the original BMW rotors. And here we have the performance carbon ceramic brake pads. This is the anti-rattle clip that we're gonna replace also on the BMW. It comes with the nice synthetic grease to prevent it from making noise, and also to help out with the lubrication of the installation. Here we have the rear pad. These are also performance carbon ceramic brake pads, anti-rattle clip, and also another synthetic grease. So these are what we're gonna install today on the BMW, because since we're gonna replace the rotor anyway, why not replace it with the high performance rotors and pads? You know, since you're gonna spend the money, why not go high performance instead of using the regular rotors? As you can see, the condition on this rotor is terrible. See all the lines? And the brake pad is completely worn out. It did not trigger the brake wear sensor, but still, you know, it's good to replace it now because it's making a noise. As you can see, the condition of the rotor is completely terrible. First, we have to remove the brake wear sensor. You have to remove the cover here on the nipple so you can release that cable. And it's a long nose plier to pull out the sensor. There you go. The sensor is still okay, so we can still reuse the sensor. Let's take out the cover here on the guide pin. Just one cover. There's another one here on the bottom. One more on the bottom here. There you go, the second one. So we need a 7mm hex. I managed to loosen the guide pins. It's a bit tight at the beginning, but it's okay. So before I take out the guide pins, I just want to remove this clip here. So now we continue taking out the pins. That's one guide pin. A second guide pin. So I'm gonna put a box here to support the brake caliper while we're putting the rotor. There you go. The brake pad is finished. It's like paper thin, it's gone. So that's why this one is making a noise. Not enough to trigger the brake wear sensor because it's not thin enough, but still I want to completely remove that noise. So we're gonna remove this one also. But before we remove that, we're gonna compress it first. I'm gonna open up the brake reservoir tank, so at least when we compress it, it's gonna push back the rest of the fluid to go back up. So it's gonna be less resistance for me to compress the piston. The brake reservoir is here. I already loosened the cap. So just have to loosen this. So it's easier to push the piston without any resistance. So I have my compressor here for the piston. I'm gonna push this back. That's it. So once you completely push it back, then you can remove the old brake pads. There you go. So see, this one too is it's a bit thicker, but the other one was more thinner than this. It's due to be replaced for sure. For the caliper carrier, we're gonna use a 16mm socket. Okay, it's a bit tight, but with the breaker bar, it's no problem. The sensor is making a lot of noise. We can put it aside. Now, once you find it loose, use your finger to turn the bolt. That's one bolt. Second bolt. Then we can remove the caliper carrier. This one we're gonna clean it out with the steel brush before we put it back. So now we're gonna remove the rotor. There you go. You can clean with the steel brush. Then I'm gonna put copper anti-seize just to make sure the rotor will not be stuck for the next time we need to change the brakes again. So you just have to match the bolt with the new rotor position. Now you can just slide in the new rotor in place. Beautiful. That's it. Before we put back the caliper carrier, we're gonna clean it with a steel brush. Also, I'm gonna spray some brake cleaner. Put back the caliper carrier. Put the bolt back. A 16mm. Okay. Second one. And tighten it with a breaker bar. So I put some synthetic grease on the back side of this where the contact point of the caliper will be. Also on the ears, I put some grease. I put some grease here on the railing of the caliper carrier. Also on the back side of the brake pad here where the contact point of the piston will be, and also on the ears of that brake pad. So I put grease. So put back the brake pad. and also the caliper. So I'm also applying the grease on the guide pins. So you have to do that after you clean the guide pins before installing it back. Now we're gonna put it back. I'll put back on the top. Second guide pin. This one goes to the lower part. Put back the plastic cover. One on the top, one at the bottom. Now we just have to put the new anti-rattle clip. It's a brand new one. And push. There you go. So now the rear brake is done. You just have to put the sensor. Push the sensor back in. Put the cable back. That's it. So now the rear brake is done. It's time to move on to the front brakes. So now the front brake is done. So now I'm gonna feel more comfortable driving the car aggressively, knowing that I'm gonna have a better brakes than before. So now for the future mods of this car. So for the future mods, we're gonna start from the front. So I'm gonna install a front splitter below this 1M bumper. On the suspension, probably either I go for the lowering springs or I'm gonna install coilovers. And also another brake, a big brake kit probably. That's for the near future. Inside the car, we're gonna do a steering wheel mod, shifter mod, and also for the pedals. And I'm also thinking to change this to a racing seat. A red color racing seat. You think it's gonna look nice with this car? So let me know in comment down below if you agree on that. Okay, that's my plan. I'm thinking to put a red racing seats on this car. For the back, we're gonna have a nice spoiler. The muffler on this car is already M Performance, so we're just gonna modify the tip because I like the sound of that M Performance muffler. And probably we're gonna replace this with the M Performance mirror caps. So far, that's what I'm thinking. So if you have any suggestion about modifications on this car, so just give me just put it down in the comment below and maybe I'll think about it. But for now, those are the plan for this 128i. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna do engine mods too. Not too drastic because this is an inline 6 only. There's no turbo on this. So probably we're gonna upgrade the intake. Probably a headers and better exhaust system. And we'll see. I'm thinking also supercharger, but that's gonna be way in the future. So what do you think about that? Do you think the supercharger will make this car a bit more faster? I'm still thinking about that. So leave down the comment if you think it's good to have a supercharger on this car. So that's it for the video, guys. So please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.